Hi, welcome to my video. So in this video I'm going to be talking about Cosmic Desktop Environment. Now, I'm back on Arch Linux, by the way, because that's just the way I am. Yes, I do have a Gen 2 system, but I don't use KDE on it. I actually use GNOME on it. I want to get away from GNOME just because I don't like politics behind an application suite. Let's say like KDE has this big politics about all kinds of stuff with DEI, and I don't really care for that crap. I'm not saying to hate on people. I'm just saying I don't care about this woke stuff, and I don't have to care about this woke stuff when it's dealing with open source software. I want just to focus on the software itself. Neither is the desktop environment, a window manager, an application, whatever. Just focus on that. I want to know every developer's lifestyle or their personal lifestyle or what they do on what they do, and I don't really care. I don't want any things being promoted for things. It's hard to explain. What I'm trying to say is that I want developers just to focus on what they are developing on, instead of instead of putting politics and trying to have some kind of agenda with when they're developing something. They want to just promote other stuff. Let's say a musician. Well, musician is a bad thing. Let's say I know developers, when they make video games, they also put personal things within the storyline, especially JRPG games or RPG. They kind of just put things that they can also be they can relate things to their personal life, which some games are like that. Some storylines has a meaning to it, behind with developers, and that's fine. But if it's not it's hard to explain. Anyways, GNOME is really bad for that. There's journalists I follow, and they basically have a rule that if you post any of his stuff, on GNOME forums, they're going to literally ban you. I don't want to name this person because obviously you probably know who I'm talking about, but I follow this guy a lot, and I like a lot of his videos. I like his articles that he does. He actually is talking about the truth about Linux, and so I just think that what GNOME's doing against him, I think is stupid. Them banning the developer that does the GNOME edition of Manjaro off the forums, that's stupid as well. I don't really agree with that. And with KDE, I don't agree with all this DEI stuff. I don't want to get into all that, but if you know what I'm talking about, go on Reddit, you'll see the logo and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying to hate a certain group. I'm just saying that they shouldn't promote a certain group. KDE should just be focused on KDE. KDE should just have their regular original logo, and that's it. Don't promote anything else besides KDE. Okay, I don't want to know about developers or their lifestyle or whatever. And why promote one certain group? Why not promote Christianity and Christian values? How about that, KDE? Won't you do that? No, you won't do that, right? Because you're gonna get a flame war with that. But you can get away with this other type of group. I don't really care. I don't use KDE because of that. I don't like politics. So I'm going to be using Cosmic Desktop Environment. It's quite buggy now, but I'm going to stick with it. I find it's getting better though. They did a lot of improvements. I really like their application menu. It's really nice. It reminds me of Pop OS. I mean, of course, if you use Pop OS and you use the GNOME edition or the current state of Pop OS, you know how the GNOME desktop of their pop shell was how it is. Well, it's very, very, very similar to that, but it's all written from scratch and it's all done in Rust. And it is a little buggy here and there. Like on my big screen TV, it's a 4K display. I have to scale up to 200 because if I do want to put it down to 1080p, it won't let me. Like I'll put it like the 1920 by 1080 resolution, and it doesn't. Like I said, I put keep settings, and it doesn't keep the settings. It just stays at 4K. So I just upscale it to 200 so I can see it better, because when it's not upscale, from the couch to the TV, it's very small and it's hard to see. So that's why I usually put it on 1080p instead of like, maybe I should upscale it because it probably looks better anyways, pixel wise. But so I have it upscaled to 200, which looks pretty good for me. So I can't put it to 1080p, it won't let me. So that's kind of a bug. I know it's like if I pin applications onto the dock, it won't launch if I click on them. Like let's say if I want to launch, okay, well that would launch, but it wasn't on my Dell computer. It doesn't launch some applications. Like let's say like I have this as open, but let's say okay, it launched now, but it wasn't launching before, so it launches now. So Kitty works. The terminal, terminal, it works, but I have it set up to have transparency. There's no transparency. There's also, I know there's no transparency on the dock. I'm guessing they're kind of polishing it up, making it more like, they had a lot more features. I find they took a lot of features out, but I get it. Like they're trying to, well, I mean, I'm guessing they're trying to, what works already and what's pretty stable with the system. They're gonna just ship it out like that, and then focus on the other features. Because I know that I don't see any applets. There was like a place where you can do applet stuff. There was no applets. There's no. Because before you could add like workspace numbers. Now it's just like workspace, which is fine, but it's just a little different. But I do like this better. I like you have like the overview and you have the workspace. I think this is pretty cool. I do like the application menu. I also find it kind of buggy, but keep in mind this is not like, it's still in production. It's still in alpha. So I mean, but I gotta say though, my computer is running up, and that's only doing that with Cosmic. I noticed before with GNOME, it gets stopped, but the computer wasn't running up that much. This runs up quite a lot with some reason. Those weird. And it's saying like my screen is 22 inch. It's a 32 inch. They're off by 10 inches. It does uses Wayland. It does have their own compositor, and I think it's called Smithy or something like that. I don't know. I don't know like the whole like all those things that they use with this. They got their own GUI, as you can see here. It's like, what's it called, Icy or Ice or something like that. I don't know, something like that. Guys, you're welcome to correct me in the comments. I'm just gonna say straight up, I don't really know all the the names and terms of things, but they do got their own toolkit. They got their own compositor. So I like that because it's all built from scratch. You could also tile. So if you enable tile works really good out of the box, which is pretty cool. So if I want to open up a new window, and it tiles. So you want to open up another new window. So I really like this a lot. So you can tile in the system. You can it's like Pop OS a lot, but it's like their own their own DE. You can put float in the next window manager, stuff like that. So yeah, it's cool though. I like it. I mean, it's a little buggy here and there. I'm still going to use it because I don't want to be associated with GNOME. I don't want to be associated with KDE. I don't like their politics. I wish that they would just focus on their desktop environment instead of like all this politics. Because like you look at GNOME, like it's pretty stable, but they're missing a system tray. They're missing what? They're missing desktop icons. I know Cosmic doesn't have desktop icons either. I mean, that's not really a big deal. I do prefer to have the option to have desktop icons, and you could have the option to take it off. So that way you please both people that likes the desktop icons and the ones that don't. So you can either have them on there or not. There's good to have choices. That's what freedom and open source and all is all about. But I guess developers nowadays, they focus on DEI instead of features in desktop environments. And KDE has way too much features, way too much useless programs. The desktop environment, I know you can install like a smaller version of KDE and all that stuff, but just the KDE suite in general is a bloated, lot of software that's very not useful. And I don't know. I don't like their whole politics with the desktop environment. They should focus on making KDE stable, because KDE is quite buggy. Even Cosmic is an alpha. I find it's still a lot more less buggy than KDE. Probably not true, but it will be more stable than KDE. I'll guarantee. Once they iron out all the bugs in Cosmic Desktop, I guarantee it's going to be a very snappy, stable desktop environment, and I'm going to stick with it. I know last time I used it, I didn't stick with it too much because it was actually kind of a buggy state. This is kind of a buggy state, but it still works pretty good. And this is on Arch Linux, by the way. So I don't use Debian anymore. Not that I hate Debian. I think that using SID is just not rolling release enough for me, and I just went on Arch Linux because I'm an Arch Linux guy. I like Arch Linux. Anyways, I bounce around a lot, so that's just what I do. I don't stick to distribution. I really trying to stick to one, but I always seem to hop around different distributions, because that's just what I've been doing for the last 24 years with Linux. And I think it's the reason why I do this, because I like to just see what's going on with all these systems, and I just think it's fun to install systems and set up systems and play around with a system for a while and then try something different and play around that for a while, because using the same one old system gets kind of boring, and Debian is really boring. I find Debian is really boring. It's a good system. If I have like a server and I need a bunch of computers, I need a real reliable system, Debian Stable would be really good for that. I think that's where it shines a lot. Or even on a laptop, where if you don't use it that much, it's not that much maintenance to do with it. So that's a perfect OS to put on there. Or just setting up a system for someone that doesn't know much about Linux, They don't have to be updated that often. Debian Stable is also good for that. But me, I'm a hobbyist. I'm a tinkerer, if that's even a word. I like to tinker with systems. So Arch Linux is good. I use Gentoo. I still have a Gentoo on one of my hard drives. I use Gentoo. I'm probably gonna set up another hard drive with FreeBSD and play around FreeBSD again, because it's been a while. I miss FreeBSD a lot. And yeah, that's just what I do. And if you guys don't like it, well, that's your tough shit. I don't care what you like or not. What I do. This is my channel. I do what I want. I say what I want. Don't like it, don't watch me. That is straight up the truth, and that's how I feel. Anyways, but I do appreciate you guys coming around and watching my videos, and I appreciate the people that are subbed to my channel and enjoy my content. The ones that are haters, well, you're always going to have that in this world. That's something you can't control. No one can control that. It's just, people are just people. Anyways, that's me ranting a little bit about how F up the Linux society is, and politics into their free software and open source software. And I really hate that a lot. And I try to, stay away from all that stuff. And I'm not impressed with GNOME. Like, them just banning people and just really very not transparency at all with the community. Just I think that the GNOME development team are terrible people, and I don't want to support them. So that's why I'm using Cosmic desktop environment. As much as it's in alpha, it's buggy, and it's not even on Pop! OS system. I'm using it on Arch Linux. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. I think it's a nice desktop environment, and I do see a lot of potentials. I think the Pop! OS or System 76 team are doing a great job, and yeah, good job, guys. Keep up the good work, and I'm really I'm really looking forward to see what you guys have to offer with Pop! OS or even Pop! OS. I might try the new Pop! OS if it comes with the Cosmic desktop. I'll definitely give that a go, and I'll do a nice review on it because I'm sure I'm gonna love it a lot. And also, I'll continue testing it on Arch Linux as well because I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, I actually prefer Arch Base over Ubuntu, so that's one reason why I don't use Pop! OS. It's not because I hate Pop! OS. If Pop! OS was based on Arch Linux, I would totally use Pop! OS for sure. I would. Because I love the desktop, and I think System 76 is a cool, like, they're cool people. They don't put no politics. They focus on computers. They build computers. They make computers. They sell computers. Yeah, System 76 is probably the coolest thing that we have in Linux nowadays, and yeah, I have all respect for these people. All respect for them. Anyways, how's it going? Cheers.